What's up, you guys? FlintEW here, and today I've got a rogue build for you guys that focuses mainly on using traps. To start this build off, let's go to our inventory. In our armor, we're going to want to socket rubies. In our weapons, it'll be amethyst. And in our jewelry, it'll be whatever jewels we need to get to 70% resistance. Moving on to the aspects and the uniques. In our helmet, it will be basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 2 seconds. In our chest, critical strikes with marksman skills have up to a 60% chance to grant a free dark shroud shadow. For our arms, it'll be the Grasp of Shadow, which says lucky hit damaging a vulnerable enemy with a marksman or cutthroat skill has up to a 33% chance to summon a shadow clone that mimics your attacks. For our pants, it'll be you take 15% less damage from crowd-controlled enemies. Whenever a crowd-controlled enemy does direct damage to you, you gain 15 movement speed for 2 seconds. For our boots, it'll be Flicker Step, which says each enemy you evade through reduces your active cooldown by 3.6 seconds up to 10 seconds. For our two-handed weapon, our bow, skills deal up to 34% increased damage based on our available primary resource when cast, receiving the maximum benefit while we have full primary resource. And one of our daggers, using an agility skill reduces the cooldown of your next subterfuge skill by 20%. Using a subterfuge skill increases the damage of your next agility skill by 30%. And our other dagger, twisting blades orb around you for a short duration, then they return to you, dealing 10% of twisting blades return damage per hit. Based on the distance the blades returned, the orbit damage is increased by 20% of the return damage. And our amulet, we have you gain 1.5 increased armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage stacking up to 90%. For our ring, it will be Mother's Embrace, which says if a core skill hits 4 or more enemies, 35% of the resource cost is refunded. And our other ring, basic skills, gain 30% increased attack speed. Moving on to our potential. Now that we're at our potential or our specialization, the potential that we chose is going to be Preparation, which says every 100 energy that you spend reduces your ultimate's cooldown by 5 seconds. Using an ultimate skill resets the cooldowns of your other skills. For those of you playing seasonal, let's move over to our vampiric powers and our packs. Now that we're at our vampiric powers and our packs, you can see that we chose 5 vampiric powers, the first one being Undying. Casting skills heals you for 3% life, double this bonus while at 50% life. The second one being Sanguine Embrace, which says when you kill an enemy, fortify for 6% of your base life. While you have more fortify than half your maximum life, you gain 8% critical strike chance. For our third one, it's Resilience, which says you gain 1% damage reduction for each 2% life you are missing. Our fourth one is Hemomancy. Your attacks deal 80% of your maximum life as physical damage to nearby enemies. This effect can only occur once every 4 seconds. You heal 1% of your maximum life for each enemy damaged this way. Our fifth one, Metamorphosis. When you evade, you turn into a cloud of bats, becoming unstoppable for 4 seconds. Enemies along your path take 3,000 physical damage and are inflicted with Vampiric Curse. Moving on to our skill tree. Now that we're at our skill trees, let's move down to our basic skills. For our basic skill, we're going to choose Puncture, 1 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade it to Enhanced Puncture. Then we'll upgrade again to Fundamental Puncture. Then we'll move down to our core skills. For our core skill, we're going to choose Twisting Blades, 5 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to Enhanced Twisting Blades. Then we'll upgrade again to Advanced Twisting Blades. Then we'll also pick up the passive Sturdy, 3 out of 3. The passive Siphoning Strikes, 3 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our Agility skills. For our Agility skill, we're going to choose Shadow Step, 1 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to Enhanced Shadow Step. We'll upgrade again to Methodical Shadow Step. Then we'll also pick up the passive Rugged, 3 out of 3. The passive Reactive Defense, 1 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our Subterfuge skills. We're going to choose Poison Trap, 5 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to Enhanced Poison Trap. Then we'll upgrade again to Subverting Poison Trap. We'll also choose Dark Shroud, 5 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to Enhanced Dark Shroud. Then we'll upgrade again to Subverting Dark Shroud. We'll also pick up the passive Exploit, 3 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our Imbuement skills. We're not going to choose an Imbuement skill, but we will pick up the passive Deadly Venom, 3 out of 3. The passive Alchemical Advantage, 1 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our Ultimate skills. For our Ultimate skill, it's going to be Death Trap, 1 out of 1. Then we'll upgrade to Prime Death Trap. Then we'll upgrade again to Supreme Death Trap. We'll also pick up the passives Trap Mastery, 3 out of 3. Aftermath, 3 out of 3. Adrenaline Rush, 1 out of 3. Haste, 3 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our key passives, and for our key passive, we'll choose Exposure. Moving on to our Paragon board. Now that we're at the Paragon board, let's go to our Paragon starting node. As you can see, we went through the right side of the map, and then we went up and got the Glyph, put in Chip. Went to the left side to branch to the new board. We picked up all 4 rares along the way. Let you take a look real quick. The new board that we added on ended up being Tricks of the Trade. We went and put in the Glyph Turf. I'll let you take a look here. As you can see, we mainly went to the left side. We went to the right side at the beginning just a little bit to get the legendary node. We branched off to the left, adding on the new board, which ended up being Layrama's Instinct. and we ended up putting in the Glyph ambush. Let you take a look here. We split downward and upward on this board to add different boards 2 different ways. The upward board ended up being Cunning Stratagem, and we added on the Glyph exploit. Let you take a look. Mainly just went to the left side, picked up a little damage right here. Went to the left to add on the new board exploit weakness. We did not put a Glyph in anywhere. We mainly just got damage elites and a little bit of health and resistance. Let you take a look here. We'll go back 2 boards where we were at Leyrana's Instinct, and we ended up adding on the new board downward, which ended up being No Witnesses, and we put in the Glyph Devious. Let you take a look. We ended up getting the health to the left and damage to the right. Go back to the original board real quick one more time. Went up through and put in the Glyph Chip. Let you take a look. Added on the new board, which was Tricks of the Trade. Put in the Glyph Turf. Let you take a look. Added on a new board again, which was Leyrana's Instinct. We didn't get that legendary node, but we put in the Glyph Ambush. Let you take a look. Went upward to add on the new board Cunning Stratagem. We did not get that legendary node, but we did put in the Glyph Exploit. Let you take a look. Added on another new board, which was Exploit Weakness. We didn't get that legendary node, and we also did not put a Glyph in. I'll let you take a look. And for the final added on board, it was No Witnesses, and we ended up putting in the Glyph Devious. Let you take a look. Now before I end this build, there are a couple slight changes for those of you wanting to use the Tears of Blood Glyph. We're going to end up moving up here where our Turf Glyph was, and we're going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes all around the damage to elites. We're also going to move upward to where we had Exploit Weakness board. We'll go to the damage to elites. We'll remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 glyph or nodes, so that way now we have 14. Then we will come all the way down to our No Witnesses board where we had Devious, and we'll remove it. You will then place in the Tears of Blood Glyph, and then your 14 points you should be able to add in around just like this. And there you go. Now you have Tears of Blood. It is inserted and ready to go. Now let's quickly go ahead and back on out of our Paragon board, and as you can see, the Tears of Blood Glyph ended up increasing our attack power drastically. Well, that's it for the build, you guys, and good luck out there.